Welcome to my channel. This is where I share my world with you guys, and today I'm going to share a very important part of my life, a tough journey that I have had to experience this year, a lot of pain that I did have to endure, but I can say that I am in the most happiest place that I could have ever been in my life, and I'm always, if nothing, I am so thankful. I'm going to do my best to try to give this journey to you guys as quick as possible. And if I do happen to get a little emotional, guys, just hang in there with me. Trust me, it is not a sign of sad. It is most definitely a sign of joy, okay? Because I am happy about this ending part of this journey, guys. I'm just so thankful to be alive. But what I am going to share with you guys today is my breast cancer journey. It has been one of the toughest things in my life that I've had to experience. But I don't believe that God will ever put more on you than you can ever bear, and He always chooses His strongest people to take care of all of His battles. So at the beginning of this year, during February, I was hanging out with a friend, and we were kind of playing around and kind of like pillow fighting, joking around, and she happened to bump against my left breast. And she was like, wait a minute, chill out, pause for a second. So I'm looking like, and she's like, you don't feel this knot in your breast? And I'm like, of course I play dumb, right? What knot you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. She said, you don't feel this knot. And I'm like, yeah, I think I feel something. But in reality, guys, sorry guys, I'm going to pull it together. And in reality, guys, I had this lump for the past 2 years, and I had already knew that it was there. The only reason that I ignored it was because I watched my mom go through a breast cancer struggle, and I most definitely didn't want to go through what I saw her go through. So I ignored it. Breast pains, all of the signs of breast cancer were upon my breast, but I had hid it for so long. I was so afraid of going through what I would have to deal with to take care of it that I just totally ignored it. It was to a point to where I was really, y'all, like, okay, if I just end up dying, I probably would just die, and it's okay. I feel like, you know, excuse me, I've been happy in my life. I've lived enough, and if I did, it just is what it is. But then another side kicked in me. I'm sorry, y'all. And it said that I was too young to leave this earth. I knew, you know, at just 34 years old, like I wasn't ready to die yet, y'all. You know, I had so much life in me. I'm in college, finishing my last year at this time of my bachelor's degree in business, and I'm like, I'm so close. I can't, you know, quit now. I don't want to give up, you know, at this point in my life. So I said, you know what? I'm going to schedule an appointment, and I'm going to go to the doctors, and we're going to see what this is, because I wasn't sure, you know, exactly what it was. I kind of had an idea all of this time, but I wasn't really sure. So I went in on March the 7th of this year to have a mammogram on my breast, and the doctor told me there's definitely something there. We're not really sure if it is cancer, but we do feel a lump, which could just be a fatty tissue within the breast, because women can, you know, sometimes have lumps in the breast, but does not necessarily mean that there is breast cancer. So to take it one step further, they said that we needed to just do a further exam on your breast, which was called an MRI, which was a scan that they would do that would get them closer to the breast so that they can really get deep in the tissues and see what was going on. So I went in April, and I had that exam done, and they said that there was a tumor in there that was about 2.6 centimeters, and the only way to know if it was cancer or not, then I would have to do a biopsy. And the doctor was like, well, this is a procedure where I would have to cut into the breast and take out some sample tissues. Well, y'all know I was scared, right? Because to be honest, I try to act like a big dog, but I'm really scared of needles. Like for real, like that is so. It really freaks me out, y'all. But anyway, I knew, we was here. This is something that I had to do. So I came back in and I scheduled the biopsy, and then I was laying there preparing myself, guys, for this biopsy. I knew from watching YouTube videos that it would be somewhat painful. And the doctor said, okay, well, I need 5 samples. What? You need how many? 5. She needed 5 samples. I didn't have a choice. So we went ahead and I can remember laying there and her numbing my breast. And as she went to pop the instrument that she used to do the biopsy, when I tell y'all, it was the worst pain that I felt. It was so close to my nipple area. It was like this pain of a hook, and it just stung so bad, y'all. It was so painful, and tears start dropping from my eyes because I'm like, I gotta do this 4 more times, y'all. It was so painful. And by the time I got done, we got to that last one, and I'm like, hey, I'm so glad, I'm so thankful I made it through, I did it. And she said, well, it's gonna be about a week or 2 before we can get the results. And I'm thinking like, there's no faster way that we can get this test done. And she's like, no, it's gonna take 1 or 2 weeks. At that time, y'all, the stress level was like so high because I was like, there's no possible way I can wait 2 weeks to be able to see if I'm gonna have cancer or not. So I'm gonna be freaking out for the whole 2 weeks, but I really didn't have a choice. It was a part of the process. So I went home, banking on, waiting on that phone call. And thank God I only ended up waiting about a week. I was at work and I got the phone call, so I left my desk and I went out into the break room area to take the call. And she said, hi, Miss White. I said, hi. She said, how you doing? I said, I'm fine. She said, would you like to sit down? I said, no, I don't want to take a seat. I'm fine. I can stand up. She said, well, I got some good news and I got some bad news. And she went on to ask me, guys, so do you want the good news first or the bad news? And I said, you know what, go ahead and just give it to me however you want to give it to me. She said, well, I just want to be honest with you. There is some cancer there. She said, but the good part about it is that we've caught it in a stage 2A, which is an early stage. So we have some options that we can do to treat this breast cancer. I'm not gonna lie to you. At that moment, I felt so much pressure, y'all. It was just so much pressure. Hold on, I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to mess up my makeup. I look so beautiful for this video. But at that time, it just had so much pressure. It's like somebody threw a ball and it went right into my throat, and I was trying to swallow, but I knew my throat wasn't big enough. And I said, you know what? I was 2 seconds from a tear dropping, and I said, you know what? God is good. I said, I'm not going to cry. I said, tighten up. I told myself, tighten up. I said, I'm all right. And I told her, she said, well, I'm so sorry to hear it. I said, wait, ma'am, hold on. We're not going to have a pity party. I said, because I'm not the pity type of person. I said, tell me what it is that we got to do so that we can, get rid of this stuff. And she said, we have 2 options. We can either do a lumpectomy or we can do a mastectomy. Now, the difference between those 2 is they can take my whole breast and just be done with it all together. Or I could do a lumpectomy where they would remove the cancer cell, and then I would have to do some chemotherapy, radiation, and also take a cancer pill for 10 years. Well, we all know I wasn't down for losing my breast, right? Like, that was no go. Like, it wasn't happening. Okay? Like, it's no chance that I was going to accept that. So, surgery, it was booked within that next week. I was going in to have my lumpectomy to go ahead and get my cancer tumor out. So I went ahead, had that surgery, guys, came out. Wasn't in too much pain, you know, because at first they have you all drugged up, but as the hours passed, I got like this excruciating pain. Y'all, it was so bad. It was like somebody was taking a knife and it was just stabbing my breast, and I was just, oh God, I was in so much pain. And I said, God, please let this be it. I hope they got everything out. So during the time of the surgery, they pulled additional tissues out to test just to make sure that they did get all of the cancer out of me, guys. And I got a phone call within like that next week, and she said, Miss White, I need to talk to you. I'm like, okay, what's going on? We got some good news. She said, well, there's still some cancer there. She said, so we're gonna need to do this again for round 2. And I said, okay, doctor, whatever it is I need to do, I just want to live. Let's do whatever we got to do to get this taken care of. So she scheduled me within the next week for my second surgery, guys. I went in, I had a successful surgery again. And, you know, as they did previous in the other procedure, they pulled more tissues for testing. And I ended up having to wait about 2 weeks for these labs to come back. And when I tell you guys, I worried myself to death, because I said, Lord, if it come back positive again, I'm going to go to surgery for a 3rd time. And I just didn't want to do that. So the results came back, and she said, you know what? Today is going to be a good day. And I just looked up, y'all. And I just said, thank you, God. Because I already knew what it is that she was going to say before she could even say it. But I braced myself for whatever it is that she was going to tell me. She said, Miss White, I just called to let you know that all the cancer is gone. She said, we tested it, and this time everything came back negative. I'm so thankful, y'all. I'm so thankful to God. Because it means I had an opportunity to live. Y'all had another chance at life. You know, that was a moment of joy for me. She said, so all the cancer's out, so now we have to go on to your after treatment, which we'll do a few tests, and then we'll decide if you're going to do some chemotherapy, there'll be some radiation, then you'll be on a cancer pill for 10 years. I wasn't happy about that, but I was willing to do, y'all, at this point, I was desperate. I was willing to do whatever I had to do at that time so that I can just live. I just wanted life. I didn't care, y'all. I just wanted to be able to live and be able to finish my degree and, you know, finish out my goals that I had set for myself in life. And I went on to see the doctors, guys, within like probably about 2 weeks after that. And the lady went over my treatment plan, and she said, I do recommend some chemotherapy for you. She said, but there is a great percentage of a chance that you may lose your hair during this process, and you may be very sick, and we're looking at about 12 weeks of chemotherapy. And I'm thinking like, no, there's no way, y'all, I'm not taking chemotherapy. Y'all can't see my hair right now, but I got some good hair, which I will show you guys in some later videos, okay? I do have some good hair. So at this point, I take my hair very serious, guys. I was not about to take any chemotherapy and be bald-headed. It probably didn't sound like the best and the smartest decision, y'all, but I just wasn't willing to just do that, okay? I wasn't willing to just take chemotherapy and just be bald-headed. So I'm like, okay, what's the next alternative? What can we do next? And then that's when she came in and she said, well, you can do some radiation, and we'll do a great amount of those treatments so that we can go ahead and kill any cancer cells that may have been hiding that we may couldn't detect. So I said, well, how long am I going to do that? She said, well, you're going to have to go through 33 treatments of radiation. So sorry about that, guys, but my precious niece, who just knew that I was in the middle of filming my video, she needed to have her few seconds of fame. But because I love her, that's okay. But we're gonna carry on with this journey so I can get you guys, you know, to where I am now, and we can continue to move on and just enjoy this joy that I'm just experiencing right now. But anyway, there were 33 treatments that I needed to complete, and I'm like, okay, well, you know, 33 sounded like a big number, but I wasn't really sure what it was. I'd never been through it before, so it's kind of like, okay, 33 treatments. What does it consist of? She said, well, you're gonna go through these 33 treatments, and we're gonna take good care of you and your cancer, but. And I'm like, but what? At this point, y'all, I was over it. I'm like, but what? She said, there will be some changes in your breast. You may notice some swelling. You may notice some dark spots. You may notice that your skin may have a very, very bad sunburn, and your skin could possibly peel. It can be a very painful, very burning journey. And I'm thinking, God, Lord, at this point, I'm like, I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired at this point. Like, I don't want to go through no more pain, y'all. But the good part about it, y'all, I knew that there was strength in me, y'all. I was ready to fight. It's like I gotta do whatever I gotta do to stay alive, and if this is it, I still will have my breast. I'm sure I can treat this. She said my skin would be back to normal with a few cream treatments and everything would be okay. So I said, let's do it, y'all. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna share with you guys some of the images here so that you can see exactly what those results were, because I know sometimes when people talk about stuff like me, my mind is just wondering, like, I want to see. So let's just take a second here, guys, and I'm just going to share a few photos with you here so that you can see. So if you take a look here, here are some photos of what it actually looks like. And these are current photos, guys, of what my body currently looks like, but I am treating the skin right now. The pain is not as bad. And these are just photos of my breasts where it burnt me under my arms and under my breast as well. And as far as my nipple area goes, you'll see all of the burns from the radiation. So I will say currently at this time, guys, I only have about 2 more treatments left. So this next week coming on Wednesday and Thursday, I will be ringing the bell, guys, and I'm so excited. I will be completing my radiation journey, guys, and there will be no more radiation. Now, as far as the pill goes, I will be on the cancer pill for 10 years, and this cancer pill will be used to block what has caused me to have the cancer in the beginning, in the first place. And hopefully, you know, once we're done with these years of taking this medication, we are done with this cancer altogether, and there's no possibility that it may come back. So I would be very thankful for that, guys, if we could get to that point where, you know, I go back for my testing and there is no cancer in my breast. But I just wanted to take the time out, guys, to just let you know that during this whole journey, I never shed not one tear. And I'm going to tell you why. I didn't cry because I thank God, because the report could have been a whole lot different than what it was at the time that it was given to me. And I say that because, again, guys, my mom is a breast cancer survivor. And when they found her cancer, it was at a stage 4. It was at a stage 4. And this could have been it. the cancer had spread all the way through her breast, y'all. Been through her breast tissues and on its way trying to escape through the lymph nodes in her arms, which means it was leading its way towards her body. And had it hit her bones, it wouldn't have been anything else that they could have did for her at that point. But see, it's one thing about a God to sit high and look low. He saw something different, and he already knew that I couldn't deal with a situation like that. So he took her through, and by the grace of God, y'all, today, she survived breast cancer. She beat it, and she's still living. So I'm so thankful to God for that. So the reason I am sharing this story with you guys, because I know there are people out there who were maybe experiencing the same thing that I had to go through, and I just wanted to be a testimony for you guys, just to say that, you know, God will never, ever, ever in your life put more on you than you could ever bear at any time. Do everything you can to remain positive during this time, because I'm telling you, your energy will determine how your health will turn out. If you carry a negative energy, that stuff can really make you sick. And I chose joy, y'all. I chose happiness. I chose peace during this journey, because I know if I kept my spirits up high to the utmost, guys, it would help me fight. And that's exactly what I did the whole time. Every appointment I went to, guys, I walked with my head up. I never walked with my head down, not one time, guys. Every time I came in, they said, Miss White, I said, present, I'm here, good morning, how y'all doing? I'm ready to get this treatment over, and let's do it. I just stayed positive the whole time. Now, I'm not going to say there weren't some days where I woke up when I was sad. I wasn't sad, guys, because I was, but it may have lasted every bit of 2 seconds, because I said, hey, for every sign of pain, y'all, it was a sign that I was still alive. And to me, y'all, that was enough for me. So if you're experiencing what I'm going through, or you have a loved one or a family member that may be going through the same thing, I say hang in there. Thank God for life. Thank God for so much technology with all of these treatments. And, you know, breast cancer isn't what it used to be back in the day. Back in the day, they just simply, hey, let's cut the breast off and be done with it. But, you know, things have changed, and there's different types of treatments for this stuff and ways that they can cure and get rid of this breast cancer. Sometimes surgery, sometimes medication. It just depends on what's better for each candidate. But I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen. I would like you to subscribe to my channel, because I have a lot more things that I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to be sharing my world throughout this whole channel. It's going to be some good experiences, maybe some bad experiences, but we're going to do it together. So if you can go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment, and by all means feel free to share, because this is sharing my world, so it's open for any and everybody, because we never know how our life's journey can help and change somebody else. So thank you guys so much. Peace and love and happiness to everybody. And, you know, this video is being done on Christmas Eve. So happy Christmas Eve to you guys. And I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas tomorrow and be blessed. Thank you guys.